And welcome to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacey, aka BeUnstoppable PURYEAR. And today I am graced in the studio with a very special guest. But before I bring her on, I want to make sure we go ahead and hit this intro. And thank you for joining Spit to the Beat podcast. You can definitely catch clips and video clips of my show on Stacey BeUnstoppable PURYEAR on Facebook, as well as Stacey Spit to the Beat PURYEAR. Also, don't forget to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Spit to the Beat. Hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. And we are back in the studio with my very special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself because I'm still trying to get close to that name.
Hi, I'm Miriam Graham, Nubian Queen Management PR.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Stacey.
Yes, I found you on Facebook. I like, okay, I gotta have this lady on my show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You're doing some amazing things in the city of Memphis. Tell us a little bit, my audience, a little bit about you.
Well, I am from San Diego, California. I've been in Memphis, I think about 18 years now.
Okay.
I'm in the music industry, and I'm also a PR for a nonprofit organization, and also do PR for other people like Monet Phillips, Lovely Lisa. I do some stuff sometimes for her, Gina Hills. I'm also a partner with Never Stop Entertainment with radio promotions. So I set up interviews for artists like Lenny Williams, Kenny Lattimore, and many others.
Yeah, I seen you had a very extensive actors and entertainers list of people that you have taken pictures with and stuff like that involved. Tell me, tell my audience a little bit about how is it working with artists and entertainers.
I have no issues.
You have no
No
issue.
issues at all because I treat them like people.
Hmm.
I've never come across anybody with the arrogancy.
No diva attitudes.
No, everybody's been so sweet and so humble and very open. Just have to treat them like they're normal people because I'm not a groupie or any of that. So I do my business, get them going, and get them on the platforms that they need to be on.
Okay, great. You just had a very big event past a week or so ago. Stomp the City Iconic Awards.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about that.
Stump the City Iconic Awards was created by Michael Dockery. It's to bring awareness against stopping the violence, gun violence, the domestic violence. So he solicits his celebrity friends. They come into the city, you know, to address the violence in the city or in their own community. But it's also an award show. So there's people who get their accolades for what they do.
I was looking at your video and the work that you had to do to pull it off. I mean, it's a great thing. What I admire of what you did, and I do admire this about other people too. They give recognition to the people that help them. It's very important to recognize people that's in the trenches with you. Day in and day out and throughout the whole process. That process you was talking about, was it really tough?
Yes, because thank God for my cousin. She came, she was supposed to just been there just to help me a little bit, but she stayed with me. I was like, go get dressed, get yourself. But she said, no, I'm going to be right here with you, whatever you need. So I had to show appreciation for her because she did it. It was her first time working a red carpet with me, the setup and the breakdown. Sometimes things happen with your team or people who's supposed to help you under circumstances, but when you have that one person, you have to acknowledge them for what they did. There was other people in the background, but putting that red carpet together, I have to give it all to her.
Yeah. And you mentioned several others, from the photographers to the catering to all the wheels that was involved in making that event a success.
Yes. A lot of the media people came from out of town.
Okay.
Yeah, they came last year. I have a relationship with a lot of the media because I contact them to get celebrities on their platform, on their podcast, virtually, or if they're in that city, set up interviews. I have some amazing photographers here. When I call, they're there. Yes, the caterer, Miss D, she did that last minute. She put it together, not to take away from anybody else, but my focus was supposed to have been that red carpet, but I was doing other things behind the scene to make sure everything goes smoothly according to what we had planned to do. So it was exciting. There was a lot of moving pieces to this event.
So tell me a little bit more about the not only the event, but you've been doing this. Is this what year is this of this event right here?
This is the third year, but it's
Third year.
my second year with them.
Okay. So they brought you in and seen your credentials and all that stuff and brought you in.
They seen how I move and shake.
Hey, I was saying it politically. There you go.
No, they didn't see my credentials. They just seen how I was moving, then saw my credentials.
Okay, great. So are you enjoying the ride, the experience?
Yeah, of course. I've been in the industry for over 30 years.
Yes.
Even before my daughter was born, I was in the industry. So, this is what I like to do. So
being in the music and the entertainment industry, what has been some of the more memorable situation that you may have done with any actors or entertainer, artists or anything like that? Any crazy story that stands out from your past?
Not at all.
What? You got a clean record.
Nothing at all, honestly.
Okay. So no artist was difficult to work with or anything like that. You just what's your process of working with art?
Just being me. Honestly, I'm not taken away from anything or anybody. It's just being me because I'm very spiritual.
Okay.
And I'm very approachable, and I try to make people feel comfortable more than anything. So it's not a process for me. I just use my gift and let my light, my Christian light, shine. And
yes.
You know what I mean? Just like with Vivica Fox, wonderful lady. When I'm on that red carpet or when we have a guest in town, I'm the PR. Come on, hospitality. I just take them, and it's that. Demetri McKinney from House of Pain. I love her when we had her here a couple of years ago, just as humble as she want to be. First time meeting me. And then, she asked her PR, she said, "You're in good hands." So I make sure when clients come to town, I'm their PR assistant. And I want to make sure that they feel like they're safe. They're going to get treated right. Even Stephen Russell was here a couple of months ago with Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis. And, we've been talking back and forth. We know the same people. And it's just like, hey, come on. Where do you want to go eat? We went out to eat, and it was just wonderful conversations.
It seems from just listening to you, you learn, how to build a good relationship with people. And I know that you're a people person being in this type of business. You have to be. You got to love people beyond themselves and loving yourself at the same time while you're doing this. And to be out front, people have to feel your vibe and your energy to make that connection and make them long-term relationships. So I definitely see you, automatic. You do that with a perfect smile.
Always smiling.
I see.
One of my friends say, every time I see your pictures, you're smiling. I said, I don't know no other way. I said, when I'm not smiling, I feel like I'm looking mean. So it's just because, when I was younger, I said, won't you smile? Won't you smile?
Yeah.
Especially guys, you need to smile. And now it just comes natural. Yeah.
All right. Hold tight for a second. Take a little PA break. And we're back to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, STACEY, aka BeUnstoppable PURYEAR, and I'm joined in the studio with Nubian Queen. I'm gonna go through the middle name. Miss Graham, how you doing?
You can get my first name.
We gonna get it.
I accept that Nubian Queen. I earned that name.
Oh. All right, all right. And we was discussing about the personality of being in the business and everything like that. You've been in there for 30 years, 30 plus years. How has your journey been?
It's been good, actually, because I started out working with kids with Friends International, and then I just kept going. I did Soul Train.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were recruiters in San Diego for models and stuff to dance on Soul Train, so that was fun. Then I did street promotions for Columbia when Destiny Child first came out, so I was being a street promoter for them. And I just moved up and I had my own TV show called Talent Conspiracy. So that's when I started getting. So you guys had the podcast, and before American Idol and all that, I
Yeah.
already had that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
have artists come on my show. I had a host. My host, they had to have a talent. They had to sing or whatever because they had to perform too. And they did interviews. So I was the first Black woman to have her own TV show in San Diego.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Now I did catch it was on uh cable TV, some channel. I watched the history of Soul Train, and most of the Soul Train dancers were talking about the 2-piece chicken box and all. But
It's true.
yeah, and you was behind all that as far as recruiting the people, going out and looking.
Well, in San Diego, we
Yeah.
only got girls from San Diego because that's where we were from. We were
Okay,
bringing
only
them up
from
for
San Diego.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had some beautiful girls.
So how was it working with Don Kanye?
I didn't work with him
Okay.
because we had to be in the audience. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
he'll pass by, we'll wave, but he was a no nonsense guy.
Yeah, I can see that. See him being like
Yeah,
that.
it's true.
Yeah. So how long did you do Soul Train?
I did it for 2 years.
For 2 years. Great learning experience and everything.
It was great being behind the scenes and meeting everybody, from Christina Aguilera to Silk. Who else? There's so many. I met so many people and going to the award shows. That was fun.
So you've been around the entertainers and artists, singers, and all for majority of a portion of your life.
Yeah.
Over 3 decades.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So let's bring it back up to 2023. What are working with the artists now? How has those relationships been with the new artists coming out and stuff like that?
Well, I limit myself to certain artists because I work with kids and through outreach ministry, so I have to be careful how I surround myself and the environment I go into because I try to teach kids how to be positive music, the integrity in young girls having respect for themselves. So I have to limit my environment of how I present myself and how I deal with other artists on that level. So I tend to deal with more R&B and blues artists.
So what was the connection with the Stump the City Iconic Award, bringing the celebrities, artists in and with the kids? How does that all tie in?
That's all Michael Dockery. That's his vision.
Okay.
My portion of it is to set up the interviews and talk to the artists or their management and, kind of get things lined up. But those are all his visions that he brings to the table.
Okay. And being that you do promotion, was you advertising?
I do social media.
Social media advertising. Okay, great. Let's talk about the India Post. Is that a magazine, right?
That is a magazine.
That sounds like your baby from what I was reading it.
Oh my goodness. Actually, that is Gina Sedman and Andrew Sedman. I met Gina through social media.
Okay.
And she lived in Palm Springs, but now she lives in the UK. So I reached out to her and said, hey, would you like to interview certain celebrities? And from there, they made me the publicist of her magazine. So when you go on her site, a lot of the placements is from me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a team.
So you reaching all the way across the waters.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm an international publicist now.
International.
Yes.
World round. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, her magazine is top notch. She does not talk about negativity. She does not bring up any drama in the conversations when she's doing her interviews. She's a Christian, so when you look at her magazine, she always have biblical scriptures in there. So that's my girl.
Let's talk about your nonprofit organization. Tell us a little bit about that.
Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis. We use media science, such as the arts, to impact the youth within a city and surrounding areas. So, like music, dance, acting, singing, production, whatever kind of art kids like to
Hmm.
do, we kind of tap into their talent. So, we give them an outlet, something to reach for. Because if you look at everything that kids do now, they want to either play basketball or football. But when you tap into their talent
Yeah.
and build on that you give them something to be motivated about. You know what I mean? So, like with our music, we'll go into these schools and then we talk to the kids and they see our wake up tour. And they'll be like, I got talent. Well, come on with us and we're going to bring out that talent.
So that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. How you coming from the music and entertainment industry to tap into kids and bring your knowledge, what you know about that, and how will it affect them? Because I know young kids, especially African American kids, they want to grow up, they want to be something, they want to be entertainers, basketball,
Hmm.
or some type of professional athlete and stuff like that. So when you coming in with the music and the entertainment and whatever else you bring into it, how did you able to tie yourself in to make that connection with kids?
Well, everybody has a gift.
Right.
And when you do not give kids an option or show them their gift and support them, they can be lost.
Hmm.
So it's just a matter of finding what they're passionate about. And entertainment is what kids are passionate about because that's what they know, that's what they see everybody doing because they think they can get rich off. But they don't know the business side of it, what it really takes. It's a facade.
Right.
Everybody thinks, oh, if I do this, I'm going to be a millionaire. But they don't understand the business side is that you have to pay these people back. Everything is rented. They don't own anything. So we have to teach them that business side and not think, okay, they're like this. We're going to keep, they don't understand that they could get caught up in drugs and submissive situations as well. So we just try to teach them that.
And that's why I invite people like you, yourself, and others who can come on my podcast and educate my audience. Because still today, a lot of potential upcoming artists, they just look at the fame side, the music side, the money side of it. They don't
Mhm.
understand the business side of it, the structure that needs to be in place before you go out there and sell yourself, and then don't reap nothing.
Right.
And they need to understand this. So, did y'all do it? Do you do any type of workshops with the kids to teach them that business side?
Well, at Heal the Hood, Monday through Thursday, we have different classes we teach. Krav Maga is on Monday. Tuesday is production, music production, like it can be piano, guitar, or just recording. Then on Wednesday, we have dance, and Thursday, we have acting. So I'm going to be teaching artist development soon. But right now, this is where we are because I got to teach especially upcoming artists, even the artists that are out now, they don't know what their PROs are.
Mm.
They don't know what split sheets are. They don't know 80-20 deals or 60-40 deals. They just said, I want to sign. They don't understand that you need an attorney. They don't know how to read contracts. And they're
Wow.
getting caught up. Like they think the little money that they get is a lot of money. Just for a single, to put out a single is $250,000
Mm.
because of the marketing promotions behind it and the videos and everything else is involved. So the little $30,000-$40,000 is no money, and they're signing themselves off.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't understand that.
Right, right. I mean, they definitely need to know that, and to tie them down, to sit them down and say, "Look, let me teach you the business side," because they're so anxious
Hmm.
about getting behind the mic or getting in the video shoot
Exactly.
and stuff like that. So you got to try to direct that energy to this side as well. Hold tight
Mhm.
one more time. We'll take another break. And we're back to Spit to the Beat podcast. Your host, Stacey, aka BeUnstoppable PURYEAR, and in the studio, Miss Miriam Graham. Okay, let's
Did not
go.
correct you.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's. We was talking about the workshops and stuff that you provide and the teaching to help these young potential artists. You pretty much stepped into my next question, and which was going to be, what advice do you give up and coming artists or entertainers who's trying to put their foot out there, get known, get seen? What process or step they need to take first before?
First thing is really to learn the business. Don't be so anxious to get in the studio. Don't waste a lot of time in a studio recording and you do not understand the market and promotions that's behind the music if you want to make your money. Understand you have to pay for advertisement. Understand you got to pay a radio promoter to put your music on these radio stations. And it is about relationships, but it's also making those connections. I always tell people when you go in that studio, make a clean version first because radio, you still can't cuss on the radio.
Right.
Some of them have underground, and everybody's like, well, we have Spotify, we have Pandora, but you're not at the top of the food chain. So you got to really work to get at the top. So if you want to be an R&B singer, you want to be on that playlist with Beyonce, it's a lot of work to get to that level. You can tell people, oh, you can find me on Spotify, but they have to Google you or whatever to get in there. But when they play that list, you want to be at the top. How do you get there? Having the right promotions behind you and that money behind you.
Yeah, I hear a lot of artists. I mean, potential artists, up and coming artists. I always talking about. I always ask them, how can people, find you on social media platforms, all the social media platforms, as well as streaming with Spotify, Amazon Music, Google, Apple Play, and stuff like that. Uh, and, but has streaming music? I'm asking your opinion on that. Has it been a hit or a miss for most artists?
It depends on how they promote themselves.
Okay.
It can be a good hit
Mm-hmm.
if you have the funds to pay Spotify to put you at the top of the food chain, or you're just there, you're not making any money. So it all depends on you as the individual, the artist, or your team, how they market and promote you. But also that a lack of knowledge hurts them of how to work it and hiring the right team, and also not having a website.
Okay.
The website, you got to have a website because when you put everything out there and have your QR code, they can just scan that and get to every platform that you're on. So they're not utilizing the network or the resources that is required to sustain yourself through social media or streaming.
Exactly, to be able to tap in, and that's one thing I always ask them as well, because a lot of them don't have that in place, you know. And I listen to them, and of course I give them my advice as well. Get your stuff in order. Get your marketing, get your advertising, all that in order first before you just putting yourself out there because nobody can find you. Last time I seen you when the last time I seen you.
Exactly.
And your social media is not all in place and stuff like that. So that's great information that you just shared. Let's last but not least, I know you got a book signed by a great artist that I love too, Kim. How was that?
You were really watching my live video.
I have to study my my guests. That's my job.
I
Just
see. I
like
see,
you
my
got to
king, my
know.
king, my king. I
Yeah.
see. I was honored. When I'm in this environment, I kind of wait to last to ask. So,
Okay.
I went to his concert. His PR was able to get me tickets a couple of months ago when he was in Memphis at the Landers Center. So just to see him in person and get that autograph. But I got to say, the first chapter I read, it was really good. So the book is really good. You really get to know who Kim is as a person and the journey that he had prior to him being an established artist. So his story is amazing. So is Darren Henson. He had a book as well. So I was very honored, and I got a couple of magazines that I got the artist to sign for me, like Lavelle, he signed his, Keith Robinson signed his magazine for me. So it's just something that I can have because, sometimes when you meet these people, it's like, okay, fly by, okay, whatever, you never see them again. But I have something that I can give to my daughter, and eventually, hopefully, she has some kids and she can say, my mom did that. So, I'm
Yeah.
honored.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've noticed a lot of artists are writing books now. You never. I really never expected. I was just waiting on the next album or next song. Now they're writing their biography of themselves, their life, and what's going on
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So that's totally different to hear a lot of artists are doing that now.
Yeah, because you got to look at it this way. We want to know the artist, right?
Right.
But we want to know that person.
Yes.
And those books is telling us about the person. Because when they do these interviews, it's typically the same old question. It's never nothing out the box.
Yeah.
So they're saying, hey, first of all, I'm human. Yes, I'm Kim, but I'm also Kim, the person. So they're letting you know who they are to get to know them as a person.
And it's good that they're alive to tell their own story versus, when they pass and somebody else try to drum up to all the information they need to tell this person's story. Like they said, give their flowers while they're alive.
Exactly.
So I admire artists that does that. Hey, who better tell your story than
Then
you?
you. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's it. That's
Exactly.
it. Again, I want to thank you for joining me on Spit to the Beat podcast. Thank you for coming in, sharing your wealth of information with my audience and teaching us about promotion and getting everything in order and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
what's next? What you got planned on the books?
The next week we have Taste Around the World for Heal the Hood Foundation. It's a fundraiser. Then we have our what's it called? Hoops for the Holidays in November. And then December we have 12 Days of Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can go to www.hthmemphis.org for more information.
Well, you heard it for yourself. She's in the house.
Thank you.
The queen herself. Go ahead and tell me that name one more time.
It's Miriam Graham, Nubian Queen Management PR.
That's awesome. I believe I was saying it correctly, though.
Mm-hmm. Lord help them.
Thank you. Thank you for being in
No,
this show.
thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'll wrap this show up. Thank you. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, give me a call, 901-341-6777, or email me at myguest@spittothebeat.com. I would love to have you a guest if you're music in the music industry, entertainment, actor, actress, songwriter, producer, all of that. Please don't hesitate. I would love to hear about your story and the information you would love to share with my artists. And with that being said, we are out. Uh, Definitely